Hey, what's up everyone, Sangtuary here, and I'm back for a new episode of Spice for Thought, the new series I'm doing, focusing on particular topics of the game to try and improve. So whether it's a tier list, strategy tips, or any other kind of content that is aimed at maybe providing some more context on how I play, on maybe some tips that can help you as well. And obviously I'm very curious about your own tips and other piece of advice you could give. So feel free to drop them in the comments as well if you have another ideas of kind of content I could do in that series. So this is episode 4 of Spice for Thought. If you haven't seen the 3 first episodes, I mean, you don't have to watch them to understand this one. It's not like a specific timeline, it's just particular topics taken one by one. So if you don't want to have a watch, you don't have to, but if you're interested, if you enjoyed this episode, I would encourage you to have a look at those first 3 episodes as well. So this episode 4, will be focused on the tools that can be used to actually improve in the game and overall just help to maybe get a better understanding of the game and to hopefully get better results. So let's jump straight into it. Here we go. As said, this episode is focused on the tools that can be used to improve in the game. So let's start right away with the first one, and I would suggest to have a look at those Dune assets databases that you can find online. The main one, or at least the older one, is Dune Imperium Assets.com that you can see just on the right hand side a little screenshot of, where you can basically see the different assets of the game. Then you could click basically on leaders and find all the leaders of the game. Same with the cards, the Lelaxu cards or research cards as they're called here, the intrigues and the text. There's also Dune Cards Hub that was uploaded or like basically published very recently. Big shout out to Antagonist for that. I would strongly encourage you to have a look at those because they give you a better idea of the universe of cards, of intrigues especially, and this might help you make more informed decisions, especially when you can have a look also at the table I've put at the bottom of this slide, the card count. Imperium cards, for instance, you have 67 in the base game, 35 in X and 30 in Imo. So if you play with base plus X plus Imo, you obviously sum up all those cards, so that makes 132 cards. And it just gives you a better idea of what are the chances to actually get what you're looking for. How much should you count on maybe finding it or not? Overall, as a tip for Imperium cards, don't really count on finding a particular card. Adapt your game to what you find, obviously, but it's still a good thing to know what cards exist, what could be an out for you, what could actually help you close the game. Also true for intrigues. If you're desperate at the end and you're looking into maybe trying to win a combat, see how many intrigues there are, see how many have already been played, and look at how likely you are to draw what you want to draw, whether it's a combat card or maybe a bribery or something that helps you get one more influence bump. Before going blindly to secrets, maybe you'd rather fight in the combat instead of fishing for an intrigue if it's a very low probability for you to get what you want. So it's very useful overall to know what kind of cards there are, what are the possibilities. Also, actually, in the combat, if you're in front in the combat but your opponent has just one intrigue, be sure to know how many swords he can have on that intrigue. As we can see here, for instance, Vicious Talents, the intrigue that we see on the screenshot, can have up to 6 swords if he ended up at the end of the research track. That is in Immortality. The most powerful combat card is Allied Armada, gives you 7 swords if you have an alliance and you pay 2 spice. So if you see your opponent doesn't have an alliance, you're safe from that one. So then the next most powerful outside of Immortality would be Private Army or Blackmail that give you 5 swords, and so on and so on. Knowing those is a very, very powerful tool. Number 2 would be to keep a log of your games. This is very good to see the evolution over time. It's also motivating to see, wait, actually, I think I'm improving. I have better results than at the start. So that's already great. It also shows you maybe who are your strong or weak leaders. And it also gives you data that is not captured by the game. I know the game actually gives you, obviously, a log of your latest games, as well as some statistics on your win rate, your leaders win rate by leaders, and so on and so on. But it's quite limited. For instance, the leaders win rate give you a percentage. Like, you've won 50% of your games with Memnon. Great. But how many games are that? I mean, if it's 2 games and you won 1, it doesn't give you much, actually. It doesn't mean much in terms of win rate, because 1 more game and you're going to drastically change that win rate, obviously, for the better or the worse. Also, the log of the game that is of the games that you've played inside the game, it's only going down 15 or 20 most recent games. It doesn't give you the entire picture. So yeah, what I would recommend is to keep a log of your games, maybe in Excel, in Google Sheets, or personally I keep it in Notion, which is a note taker, but where you can also have actually databases, so you can create your own database. Why do I keep it in Notion? Because I can also update it very easily from the phone, from the iPad, from my laptop, so it's a bit more user-friendly, I would say, than Excel when it comes to cross-device, let's put it that way. I will, by the way, share a template of those potential logs that you would wanna keep in my Discord server. So feel free to hit that and join it. It's in the link in the description below that video. Here would be an example of my log. Actually, I keep it in Notion, as said before. Why do I do that? It is because I actually find a pen here. Laser pointer, awesome. It is because, so this would be one view of the database. As we can see here, I can actually have several different dashboards. All of them give a view of the same database. So if I change one thing in the database, it's going to be reflected in all those different dashboards, it's called. We could see those as different sheets in the same Excel. And here, for instance, I'm on the dashboard by leader, so that groups my games by leader. As I can here, I could unwrap Armand, for instance, or Baron, and see all the details about my games with those leaders or with all the other ones below. But here I unwrapped Helena as an example. And as you can see, what do I keep track of? Obviously the leader, so that's what they are grouped by right now. The end rank, so how did I end up winning or ending up third? The start position, because I find it quite interesting as well to track how good I am depending on where I start the game. Then obviously this is a bit more specific to YouTube content, but it's the series or the video in which I mean, I've uploaded that game potentially or played it. Then we have comments. If I want to keep track maybe of the number of points, that could be actually another field. I just decided to keep that as qualitative data to look into if I'm curious. The season, so that I can have them by season, and then typically that dashboard only shows me the current season in which I'm playing. I number them, I mean, based on how long I've been playing. So my first season was season 1 and so on. So yeah, here you can see that that's 9th season. Before that, those were not part of a ranked season. Those were public games or yeah, lobbies that we've maybe played differently. Anyways, non-ranked games. Created, this is actually a strength of Notion as well, is it automatically generates that. As soon as I create a new entry in my database, it gives me the creation date. ELO, if I want to keep track of how much ELO I have. And iPad would be just for me a binary field. Did I play that game on iPad or not? Because I find it quite interesting to see how my performances change between my games where I've played on PC or iPad, to see if my focus changes. Spoiler alert, did not change that much, at least so far. So yeah, the strength of Notion as well is you can actually extract all that data, everything if you want, into an Excel, and then maybe run some more thorough analysis from there on if you're a number cruncher. So yeah, enough about Notion. I'm not here to promote it. I've not been paid or anything, obviously, but it's just I'm a bit of a nerd, so yeah, feel free to skip that if you're not interested. I mean, I guess too late, because we're gonna go to the next tip now. My third tip would be to join Discord servers. Direwolf would be one, that's the publisher of the game. There you could find more general discussion on the game, suggestions to developers, complaints, questions, so that can also be interesting. But I think the most relevant ones are the two that follow, Hidden Assets and Strategy Arena. There you can find communities of very strong players. Hidden Assets is more focused towards TTS, So not the Dune Imperium Digital game as we know it, or as I at least upload content about, more the game that actually happens on Tabletop Simulator, aka TTS. But their Dune Imperium Digital aspect is actually also growing there, so I would still recommend to join it. And Strategy Arena is more focused on Dune Imperium Digital natively, let's put it that way. There you can find communities of very strong players, discussions, memes, questions, debates on the game, and it's also very useful to read about that and to maybe also ask questions, to have opinions of very experienced players. And let's say the more interesting part is tournaments and games are organized on those Discord servers, so that can also help you improve, obviously, by playing against those very good players. Speaking of tournament, I'll do a little minute of advertisement for my own tournament that I'm organizing in September. Deadline to register will be 31st of August. You can join for free. You just need to join my Discord server and you'll stay informed about it. Discord server is in the link in my description, obviously, as said before, so feel free to join it. And there will be a prize pot for the winner of that tournament. It will be all my streaming revenues, which is already around 70 USD. So joining a tournament for free and having a shot at more than that, because my streaming revenues hopefully will still grow until end of August, and all of that will be committed to the tournament. So yeah, if you want some nice experience in a tournament, playing against good players and having a shot of maybe getting a little payday, doesn't hurt. So yeah, feel free to join. The tool number 4 would be an odds calculator, and for that I would refer to tip number 7 of episode 2 of this series, Spice for Thought, where actually I was recommending to not draw blindly. So obviously an odds calculator would allow you to make an informed decision. This I use on my streams, on my games overall. Like when I play on the laptop, systematically I open Excel and I have my little odds calculator, or when I'm looking to draw and to maybe hit Spice Must Flow or be able to buy a good card, and I know exactly what I'm missing in terms of persuasion. What do I have in my deck or in my discard if I'm going to reshuffle? And yeah, to be able to see how likely it is that I will get the card or the Spice Must Flow. Obviously, if you just draw one card, it's a very easy calculation. It's just a fraction. It's like if you have 3 cards in your deck, you need 2 persuasion, and there's only 1 card in the deck that has 2 persuasion. Well, 1 out of 3. Okay, this is fine. But it's as soon as you draw more than 1 card, actually it becomes combinatorics. So those odds become not that easy to calculate by head. Maybe when it's about drawing 2 cards with a low sample, you could potentially do it, or with a low population. But still, I mean, to be honest, I would just use the Excel, because it's a quick and easy tool I developed with the macro behind it. So yeah, let's maybe just quickly go through it now, make an example that will probably be clear in what it can help you do. Let's have a quick look at this tool then. It's very easy to use. You will find it on my Discord, by the way, so you can just download it from there. It is a macro enabled file, so just one thing is, when you download it, opening it, you won't be able to use the macro because your security settings most likely will block it, and you will have a red banner here saying macro blocked, blah blah blah. So what you need to do is, before opening it, right click on the file, hit properties, and there you should have a little tick box that says unblock. So you need to tick that box to unblock it. I promise there is no malware or whatever kind of code in there. It's literally just an odds calculator. Yeah, I'm not gonna, I mean, if anyone is curious, you can comment over it. I can screenshot the code if you want to see it first. But I mean, you can trust me, I have absolutely no interest in hacking you. Anyways, so the tool goes as this. The light blue cells are the ones you can actually edit. Those are manual inputs, and the rest is calculated automatically. So what you need to do is enter the persuasion in your deck or your discard pile. Let's make a little scenario. We're round 1. In our deck, we have our 2 convincing arguments, our 2 daggers, make it simple, and 1 Dune the Desert Planet. The order of the cards absolutely don't matter. You can put them as you want, obviously. Now, let's say we have right now 5 persuasion in hand. we want to basically play still suits with Seek allies, so we stay at 5 persuasion, and then we go to research station with our ring. So that would put us down to 4 persuasion because we play the ring, and we want to hit 7 to be able to get Lady Jessica. So what we are targeting is 3 more persuasion, right? Because we would have 4 persuasion in hand after playing the ring, and we want to get to 7. And research station draws us 3 cards. So now we can actually calculate our odds and see how likely it is. 70% chance that we hit the 3 persuasion that we're missing, because basically there are 10 different possibilities in drawing 3 cards out of those 5, and there are 7 favorable outcomes. This is just to get a bit more details. We don't really care about that. Important is probability of success. And we can actually change that a bit, play around with it. Let's say instead of convincing argument or Arrakis liaison, we actually bought a card with 1 persuasion. Now what are the odds of that same scenario? Only 50% actually. And then if we didn't buy a card with 1 persuasion but with 0, now we only have 30% chance. So it is a very interesting tool. I'm not going to do 1,000 scenarios because you probably figured it out and you can play around with it by yourself, but it shows how important it is to actually buy good persuasion if you want to buy good cards. So that's a small additional tip, let's say, on that. Obviously, you can play around with it. Let's say you only have 1 card in your deck. You still want to draw 3 cards from a research station, but you only have 1 card in your deck. It means you're going to actually reshuffle. So what it means is you're going to draw that 1 card, and then you're actually only going to draw 2 cards from your discard. And here, you would now enter all the cards from your discard pile, whatever their persuasion is. It can go up to 20. I would hope that there's not more than 20 cards in your deck or a discard, because that would be already a bit too much. But quite a long time to actually record them all in here before being able to calculate the odds. But yeah, those are maybe the only limitations of the tool, but I would hope that you keep your deck thin, as also advised in a previous video of Spice for Thought. Anyways, that would be the tool. Feel free to hit the Discord to find it. And yeah, let's jump to the next tip. Number 5 would be YouTubers. Here I shout out the ones I've been watching here and there, and that help a lot because we all have different ways of thinking. And even if we all play a lot and have had a lot of experience in it, you always learn new things, especially when you confront yourself to other thoughts, to other players who have different styles. This is very, very useful. So here, yeah, shout out to Just This, Bludgeon, Hidden Assets, Black Shadow and CJ, basically, who are running Hidden Assets channel. Manta and Maki JJ, only on Twitch though, the latter. But all of them produce great content, are great players, like really very strong. And all of them have very different play styles. So if you don't like my own style, fair enough. I'm not going to force you in watching my content, but I'm sure you're going to find one of them or even several that will help you understand better the game. And besides just the normal YouTube uploads, I would also strongly encourage joining live streams, whether again it's mine or any of theirs, because there you also have chat and everyone in the chat giving their opinion on the play, giving ideas, correcting potentially what the YouTuber does, because it does happen. We also definitely make misplays, and more often than not, to be honest. But yeah, and chat helps a lot. Again, it's in that logic of fostering the community, debating, getting new ideas, because this game is not solved and not solvable. There are so many different paths, so many different routes to winning it or to losing it, that you're definitely never going to find the one trick that works every time. So yeah, very, very valuable, I think, to have a look at YouTube content, join live streams, chat in there, try to understand, ask questions, and yeah, I think that would be it for the 5th and last tip or tool. I'm actually asking, like calling myself and all the other YouTubers tools right now. I guess I am, but yeah, I think those would be my 5 main tools to yeah, improve in the game. So yeah, thank you very much for having a watch. If you enjoyed that, feel free to hit that like button. Again, if you have other suggestions of kind of content I could do, or if you have your own tools that you use as well, drop a comment. I'd love to hear about them. And hope to see you again very soon. Have a good one. Bye bye.